Tune into Life, the show where we go and look at the stories behind the music, the lyrics, the artists, and learn how to compose your life like a symphony. This month, we're looking at days of the week, and this is the third week, and we're going to go Till Tuesday. I realize the song's not about a day of the week, so I'm cheating a little, but the name is Til Tuesday, so this is for the days of the week, Tuesday. Anyways, it's Voices Carry, and I'm going to play the live version, do a little blurb behind the band. You guys go check it out, and I'll see you in about 5 minutos. Talk to you later. Hasta la vista. Enjoy.
We're going to do one more song, but before we go, I want to thank you very much. This is our first time playing New York, and it couldn't have been better. I mean, you're so nice. I really, really mean it. I really do. So this is our last song. This is called Voices Carry.
But I'm frightened of
Hey, Travis Lochner's in the house. I'm not Travis Lochner, in case you didn't know. The Lock Man, T-Lock, and all of his other nicknames. Anyways, he just kind of went and did the things like that. Actually, that's kind of weird because I did a post today on LinkedIn, and it's basically about how important knowing the why is to anything you do, and that kind of motivates in your life. And as we'll see from quotes from Aimee Mann and the band Til Tuesday, they kind of got into the why and the purpose, and that really drives the passion and the fun and makes your life worth living. Like Socrates supposedly said, I'm getting, there's just a lot of quotes that I've held fast to a lot of my life. And I always thought I knew who the person was. Like my one of my companies, Einstein's of Creativity Studios, EOC Studios. The reason I called it that was because of a quote that I thought was by Einstein that turned out it wasn't. But I still like the quote, and I still like Einstein, so I kept the name of the company. Anyway, Socrates was supposedly said in a trial against him that the unexamined life is not worth living, and so I extrapolated on that. And anyways, as part of that, I did a little mini video where I did the ASL sign for Y, but I messed up first. And so I said, here's a rock star trying to sign Y in ASL. And I kind of did this, like the, yeah. Anyways, and then I go, no, that's not it. It's actually like this where you do, and that's Y. That's the letter Y in ASL. So you do kind of by your forehead and then that. So knowing the why in everything you do, that helps build fun and passion. And I'm a big admirer of Aimee Mann. Yeah, I'm a big admirer of Aimee Mann. Yeah, I don't even know her freaking name. Yes, Aimee Mann. And hey, Wayne, how you doing? Travis and Wayne in the house. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Aimee Mann. She's the primary songwriter. She played bass. Yes, this is horns. Thanks, Wayne. She played bass, and she was the principal songwriter. The other three guys, they did songwriting too, but she was the main one. And then she went off to do a solo album. I think Til Tuesday did 4 albums, and then they kind of split up, but Epic wouldn't let them go. And so Aimee Mann essentially started her solo career, but she had to tour as Til Tuesday. So it's like her and a bunch of session musicians would tour, and they would do her songs. So that was the beginning of her solo career because Epic wouldn't let her go. Yeah. So anyway, but I mean, she's had a great career. I mean, she did a lot of soundtracks. Like some of my favorite contributions to her soundtrack was in Magnolia. That was really good. I've seen her live. I really like her album Bachelor No. 2. And I like all her solo stuff. She's just a good songwriter. She has a good presence. And if you ever seen any like interviews with her, it's not a subtle, I think it's kind of dry and subtle. It's a dry, subtle sense of humor. She just has a really good view of life, and she's not afraid to share her opinions. Like one of the things I thought I liked, she was talking about her when her son was 6 years old and how they'd be in the car and they'd be listening to Disney Plus, like kid tunes, like Disney songs and stuff. And she's just, I'm not sure I got the gist of it, but here, if these words were coming through my brain and I said them about a 6-year-old son listening to Disney music, she goes, yeah, I got to talk to him and work that out and just get him out of that kind of music. Kind of like, Disney songs are all schmaltz, which a lot of them are. But I mean, I like Disney. Disney has its place, but a lot of times they do schmaltz. And if you don't know what schmaltz is, I know Wayne's from New Jersey, so he knows what schmaltz is. And all Jewish people that speak Yiddish know what schmaltz is. But it's kind of like when you're laying on really thick and like you're trying to make a point or you're trying to convey an emotion and you just really overdo it that the person receiving this message it's like hammered home and all that kind of stuff. And guess what? This is the perfect time of the year for it. Because guess what I do after Thanksgiving? I start watching like Hallmark Christmas movies, and I watch all of the classics like It's a Wonderful Life. People wouldn't think Scrooged with Bill Murray is a classic, but I think it is. I love Bill Murray. And just like all those holiday movies. Like yesterday I watched Arthur Christmas, which got a little tear in my eye. It was schmaltzy and it laid it on thick, but it's okay during the holiday times. Anyways, so what we do here, in case this is your first time, I think there's at least one first timer here. So in Tune Into Life, we take a song, and usually each month has a theme. So this month's theme is Days of the Week. So aside from this week, where I kind of cheated because the name of the band is Til Tuesday, and the song Voices Carry is not about Tuesday. So that's kind of cheating. So the first song was Sunday Bloody Sunday by U2. And then week 2, we did Manic Monday, which was written by Prince, but we actually played both Prince's version and both the Bengals version. And we talked about the Bengals and Prince. And so what we do is we look behind the lyrics and what was going on in the band's life at the time and that kind of stuff. And we look at, just quotes that they say and try to figure out life hacks so that all of us could go out there and we can learn how to compose our life like a symphony. And so even if you don't like classical music, the idea of a symphony. Symphony is all these different instruments just coming together and giving a beautiful music that is empowering, that makes you feel emotion, that motivates you, that just some of the great pieces like Beethoven's Ninth, one of the best pieces of music ever. So just all the emotion that comes just from listening to that song. And also, I don't know about you, but I anchor songs in my life. So there are times in my life where, like when I become up against a hardship, or I really enjoying something, or just jazzed by life, there's a song like I can play. Like if I need firing up, all I have to do is play one of 3 songs: "Live Life" by the Kinks, "Everything Works If You Let It" in Your Heart by Cheap Trick, or "Helter Skelter" by the Beatles off the White Album. Those 3, if that doesn't get my pulse going, I'm dead. Just cremate me, put me in a thing, bury me, whatever, because I'm gone. But that's just kind of music does that. And Voices Carry is actually one of those songs. So luckily I've been in a relationship over a decade, but when I used to go through breakups, I would just listen to the song. Even though I'm a guy, women can impact gentlemen the same as gentlemen can impact the ladies. And so just sometimes love goes bad. You have an end of a relationship and you miss. It's very strange. Like even a bad relationship, it's been going on a long time. After it ends, no matter how bad that person treated you, at least for me, speaking for me, it just kind of, you feel, it's like, oh man, I really miss that person. Do you? Do you remember why I split up? Okay, maybe you do miss them a little, or you just miss the companionship of another human being. So to me, Aimee Mann is one of the few people, I'd say there's about 20 off the top of my head, that can write music and lyrics and songs that just convey not only breakups, but just different parts of humans relating to humans, human relationships, primary relationships, sexual relationships, friendships, all that kind of stuff. She's just really good at conveying those kind of things. And there's not too many songwriters or performers out there that do that. Some people do it in like a really seedy way. I mean, I like Van Halen, I like Van Hagar. And just in case you didn't know, when David Lee Roth left Van Halen approached several people, and then they came to Sammy Hagar, and they actually were going to name it Van Hagar. But this is one of the reasons I love Sammy Hagar, and we'll do a show about him later. But he goes, no, you're the brothers. This is your band. It's Van Halen. I'll be the lead singer. I'll play rhythm guitar. And by the way, Sammy Hagar's a pretty damn good lead guitarist. I mean, he's been in many bands. He's been in Edgar Winter. Okay, wait a second. I'll just save that for his show. Anyways, but what I'm saying is kind of Van Halen does overtly kind of sexual songs, kind of playful, all that kind of stuff. They don't convey an emotion. So there's a lot of bands like that in every genre that do it kind of down and dirty, I would say. And it's not, Aimee Mann just gets to the emotion. And like Brandi Carlile is my current favorite artist right now. That woman is just amazing. And we'll do a show on her later too. But like Brandi Carlile, Aimee Mann could just express that. And you get a feel for it. It's like, wow, this really does suck. And I understand why I was in it. And now I'm out of it and it's a good thing, but I still miss it. And you're just getting all those emotions. So yeah, voices carry kind of do that. I mean, there's a line in there. He wants me, but only some of the time. He wants me, but only if he can keep me in mind. That's not a good relationship. Anyways, but I'm pretty sure she got out of that one. And the reason I played the live version, one, I actually love the live version better. It's just, even though the studio version is well produced and well packaged, this live version just has that little extra crunch guitar and the little slips on the keyboard. I know a lot of people are in technique. There's a lot of musician friends who, no, you have to have the technique perfect and you got to do the perfect timing. And it's like, no, you don't. To me, it's a little messy is good. What you do is you practice and you learn technique, in my opinion, to become a great musician. You learn and you practice and you get down the technique such that it just becomes instinctual, but then you let it go and you just play through with feeling. And that feeling, like bending the chord, like Santana can say more with one single note than like Aimee Mann can say with the whole song. And Aimee Mann is a great guitarist. He's very classic and he's very fast and all that kind of stuff. But Santana can just like sustain that note, and you're just like, oh my God, I feel that. So Aimee Mann's that kind of songwriter, musician, performer. So let's get to the first quote, shall we? Well, gosh, yes, we shall. Okay. So the first quote is, life is a series of problems to figure out how to solve gracefully and with dignity. And that is what life is. And I can't see it any other way. It's a pretty good quote. But now you're probably asking, yes, that's a good quote. And I know you have two other quotes and you have two other life hacks, but we haven't even had the first life hack. So what's the life hack you can learn from this quote? Excellent question. And why don't we just move along and get right to it? Okay, Mark, we shall. So problems, we all got them. Success is all about solving them with grace and dignity. So if there's any of you out there that want a problem-free life, I got two things for you. One, how freaking boring, and two, how unlikely. We all have problems. Life is not fair. Life is not perfect. Life is not smooth. It doesn't matter. It's how you approach it. It's how you embrace it. It's how you live it. It's how you're present with it. It's what you learn from it. It's how you move on. It's how you focus on your goals and what you really want. And your creative Kraken. Oh, great. I just ruined my, hold on. Oh my God, the show's gone wacky. Whoa, the camera. Whoa, look at the camera work. Oh, yeah, see, there's creative. Not a great t-shirt, I think it is. Oh. Creative Kraken. And I'm lifting the wrong side of my, okay. Because it's reverse. Kind of, yeah, it's like a mirror image. Anyways, I'm back. Oh, but wait, where did Tune Into Life go? There it is. So, yes, we're going crazy here on the Tune Into Life show this week. So, yeah, I mean, problems happen. Shit happens. Life is not perfect. Get over yourself. Just embrace it. And, you know, gosh darn it, this is what life's all about. And it's how you handle the problems. Now, like, here, we can do this, which is easier. Creative Kraken. I like that with the inside, the black mug. Hey, what's he drinking? Is he drinking some vodka? No, it's a Thursday. I don't drink it. Well, sometimes I do, but I'm not drinking right now. I'm drinking water. Yeah, laser pointer. Thanks, Wayne. Wayne thinks I'm like a cat or a dog when a squirrel comes around. And yes, he tries to distract me, but he's my most loyal friend and fan. And he comes, and I am very appreciative of it. I've been doing this show. This is episode 56, and I think I only missed 2 episodes. So that means I've been doing this for 58 weeks. So that's like 13 and a half months. So I've been doing a show 13 and a half months. Well, you think your viewership would be more? Yeah, you would, wouldn't you? Anyways, I'll work on that. Not worried about it. I do it for fun. It's one of the fun parts of my life. As with many people, the pandemic, etc., has been, hard. I've probably been in and out of jobs more in the last 4 years than the previous 2 decades. So it plays with your psyche. But anyways, I'll be moving on to my side hustles in a couple of years and not looking back. So I'm building up on that and hope all of you are too. And that some of the life hacks, we'll get to that. So let's get to the second quote because they deal with that. So anybody who cares less about wanting to be cool, I think, is more interesting. So if you follow me on LinkedIn, on TikTok, or Facebook, or YouTube, you probably gathered, or come to the show. And LinkedIn, you probably gathered, Mark's not that cool. Never intended to be. When I was in high school, I wanted to be a rock star. And yes, my band opened for some famous, really bands that would explode later on in life from Illinois, from England, from whatever. But we all decided, you know what? We're going to college. They decided that and didn't tell me, and then I got to college. It's a long story. So I didn't become a rock star, but I've written, in the last couple of decades plus, I think I've written and recorded 250. I just wrote a new one today, so 251 songs or something like that. About 100 of them are pretty good, and I'd say there's about 10 that are really, really good. So in the next couple of coming years, I'll release a new album, and hopefully you listen to it and you like it. I don't really care if you buy it. Just listen to it and go, hey, the guy's a pretty good musician. Anyway, so where was I going? Oh, yeah. So the second quote, which I already did, but I'm going to show it again. So anybody who cares less about wanting to be cool, I think is more interesting. So I guess if Aimee Mann met me, which I'm open to, I'd like to interview her, pick her mind. She's just a really cool person. I think she's like a year younger than me too. But just, talk about music, talk about creativity. I think she's written some books too, if I'm not mistaken. She's kind of, I don't know if she plays herself, but she's been in a couple of movies. And the character, based on what I've seen in her interviews or stuff, it's kind of like herself, but it's different, whatever that means. But I don't know. She just seems kind of cool. Be an interesting person to meet. But so, yeah, if you've not seen them, there's people that are trying to put an air of cool, or I was going to say I'm not going to knock influencers, but I'm going to knock some influencers. So there's some influencers out there. They're all about the cool. They think, oh, our crap doesn't stink. Oh, gosh. And they make lots of money doing it. So God bless them. Good for them. I would pick some of the Kardashians for that, some of the Jenners for that. One of them's like one of the youngest female billionaires ever. And good for her, but she's kind of a vacuous person who, anyway, I don't get it. But so the coolest people to me are the ones not trying to be cool. In fact, I've had my greatest conversation in my life with basically street people, and you just talk to them about their story and how they got there and if they're going to stay there or they want to get out of that situation or whatever. And just, they're so very interesting. And that's, just don't judge a book by its cover or people by their circumstance, and just kind of go talk to people and listen to their story. It's a lot to learn. There's a lot of people have to share and all that. Anyways, what is the life hack that we could get from people not trying to be cool and that they're interesting, living an interesting life? Like Socrates, I can't say it. Like Socrates supposedly said, because we weren't there, and as we stated, many quotes are not who we think said them, and they're made up. But I think this one is true. He's in a trial. He's being tried for some of his thoughts, and he basically said an unexamined life is not worth living. So that kind of fits in here. And then success is realizing you can't manage what others think of you. So why bother trying? Live life your own way. I cannot stress, it's one of the most important life hacks. And guess what? Even though I'm telling you, I sometimes care what people think, probably more often than I should. And when I do, it always gets me in trouble. Because it's like, oh my God, that person thinks this of me. I must act differently. Screw that. Yeah, one of my biggest regrets of my life is I had a boss who I thought he was representing a company, but he didn't. He just wanted numbers to look good for his organization. And so he knew the company was taking a major downturn. And so he had everyone in his organization save their vacation time, their PTO, for end of year so they could take off at the end of the year. I don't understand this because I'm not an accountant, but they could take off at the end of the year for 2 weeks, take the PTO, not lose any productivity because everybody's taking the PTO, and that's in the book somehow or whatever, and it would make the company look better. And so I listened to him, and I rescheduled my vacation. And I usually, for probably 20 plus years, my mom's birthday is September 29th. And so I opted to just go see her over the holidays. So I'd go spend 2-3 weeks at the end of the year. Well, guess what? On that birthday, the one I missed, the first one I missed in 20 plus years, she died 3 days after her birthday. And I missed it. I wasn't there. It's one of my biggest regrets. So anyway, that is a strong lesson, is don't care what other people think. Live your own life. Live your life your way. Because if I would have lived it my way, I would have been in Chicago when it happened. And no, I didn't want to see my mom die, obviously. But having been there, it would have filled a little small piece of my heart that kind of got broken at that time. Anyway, so don't live your own life. People are going to say stuff. People are going to think stuff. You can't control what people think because you can't. Everybody has weird, different neurons and the way their brains formed and their genetics and their DNA and how they were raised and all their experiences. And they have different body chemistry and chemical balances and imbalances and glandular systems. And they're going to think, some people are going to think weird stuff that doesn't even make any sense. And so you couldn't even adjust your behavior or how you acted towards them, even if you did everything you possibly could, and they wouldn't change their mind about you. So screw them. Live your life your way. As long as you're not hurting anybody else, do it. Getting deep and philosophical today. Anyway, so let's move on to the third quote, shall we? Oh gosh, I guess we shall. All right. So third quote from Aimee Mann is, if your standards are low, you're going to stop pretty early on in the process. Think about that. That kind of ties in with all the other stuff. Not worried about what other people think. Living life your own way. All those things tie in together. If you can't see that, no, I was going to be judgmental on purpose. But no. So the life hack we can get from that quote is, success is not about having no or low goals and standards, but it's rather to keep aiming for the stars, even if you never reach them. So many people do not set goals. Most people don't set any goals and have no standards, from me outside looking in. And what that does is they live a pretty shallow, pretty depressing life, because they're worried, if I set any goal and then I miss it, oh my God, I'm a bad person. No, you're not. You set a goal. You did what you did, all the circumstances, you allowed your behavior to happen however it happened, and you achieved what you achieved or didn't achieve. That's okay. You go, okay, gosh, I missed that one. You reset it. You can reset the same one and try harder or differently or do different things, or you can reset a different one. It's okay. But as long as you're aiming for the stars, you can't reach the stars if you're not aiming for them. So keep going. And if you miss it, oh, well, guess what? 99% of the population on Earth that sets goals misses their goals the first time, second time, third time, fourth time, fifth time, sixth time. Some people never even reach their goals by the time they die. But because they had goals, they lived an interesting life and they got things done and they accomplished things. It's about that journey, not the destination. So many people that even reach their goals, they set a high level, then they meet it, and then they feel all the press when they get there because they didn't have anything beyond. They weren't living in the process of it. They were living for that goal. And when they hit that goal, they're just like, wow, thought if I hit this goal, my life would be good. That sucks. So keep aiming for the stars and then reshoot. And then if you miss, you readjust, you re-aim, you shoot. It's just like in lean manufacturing thinking, PDCA, you plan as best you can with all the information you have and you set your goals. Then you execute on your plan, you start doing it, you do as much as you can, and then different spots along the way you check and you go, oh crap, that didn't get me what I wanted to, so now I can adjust. So I'm going to take action, I'm going to adjust and redo my plan. And guess what? More people get further when they have a goal and they enjoy the process and they get along towards the plan and miss their goal than not having a goal at all. So there you go. That's Uncle Mark telling you things. So let's recap the 3 life hacks we learned today by quotes from Aimee Mann and Til Tuesday. Live, learn, and adjust, my brother, as Wayne says. Thank you, Wayne. So problems, we all got them. Success is all about solving them with grace and dignity. That means being true to yourself, holding on to who you are, and realizing you have a problem and solve them the best you can. And guess what? Sometimes that means pulling people in and asking for help. It's all right. Yes, this is about Til Tuesday. And then success is realizing you cannot manage what others think of you, so why bother trying? Live your life your way. And that totally comes from, there was one of her latest interviews. She's gone, you know what? I've gotten to the point in my life where I don't really care what people think of me, what they say about me. And I think it took me too long to get there, but I'm really happy that I'm here. And yeah, so that's what she said in the interview. And then the third one is success is not about having no or low goals and standards, but it's rather to keep aiming for the stars, even if you never reach them. If you have goals and you miss them, you adjust. Enjoy the journey as you're going there. Even if you achieve none of your goals, I hope you do, and most people will if you set them, you'll reach some of them, and just keep adjusting. And as I always say, living your best life creates a better world for everyone, and I want you to live your best life. And I want you to start living your best life now. There's no other time. If not you, who? If not now, when? Come on, you've heard these things before. These are adages, but they're so true. So start living your best life now. And if you don't have any friends or whatever, you reach out to me. I will help you out. Let's connect on LinkedIn, whatever. Just follow YouTube, go to Facebook. Who cares? And if, whatever, just reach out to someone. Things are better done together. And so that is the end of Til Tuesday, Voices Carry. And those are life hacks where you can learn to compose your life like a symphony by the stories behind the music, behind the artist, behind the song. And so please come back next week. We'll have another days a week. It's week 4. I'm not sure what week 4 will be yet. It might be like Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting. That's one of the ones that it's up for grabs. But the last week will be A Day in the Life by the Beatles, from one of the greatest albums of all time, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. That is an awesome song. It's one of the first songs to change melodies and timing and all that kind of stuff. And it's just one of the best albums of all time. Anyway, I will play my outro, which says how I can use copyrighted music, because this is for training purposes. I'm not selling you anything. Yes, we can connect, and I have services for sale, but I'm not shilling it here. Just connect and we'll help each other out. So you have a great Thursday. Thanks for showing up, Wayne. Thanks for showing up, Travis. And it looks like a couple other people may have showed up. I always have some, I shouldn't call them trolls, because trolls has a negative connotation. I always have some lurkers. There you go. So just people that come, that are just sitting behind the scenes, don't really want to say anything. That's cool. If you learn something, great. I enjoy doing the show. So if you get something from it, great. I get something from it every week. So see you all next week. Please watch the outro. It's kind of fun. And I'll talk to you later. TTFN. Ta-ta for now.